typically we would go through our list of our favorite movies from the past year.
All of them.
It was Sonic the Hedgehog. That's it. Good night, everybody.
So yeah, usually there's we would release a video that is specifically a top 10 of our 2020 movies. We would each go through and do a individual top 10 list of the movies that we've seen. But since I've seen 10 movies last year, I don't really feel like trying to organize those 10 specific. No, I've seen, I think I saw 17 movies. And that's kind of the big issue here is you've seen slightly more of the 2020 releases than I have, but as a whole, we have not seen enough to warrant, I feel like, being able to do a proper top 10 list.
Basically what we're saying is we're not going to give 2020 the pleasure of having one whole video on our channel about it. So let's just quickly go through what we would say our top 10 of 2020 is right now.
Of the movies we've seen. Now, keep in mind, there's some maybe awards fair or indie projects that we haven't seen that a lot of people have and are talking about.
Vernon said he's taking his donation back if Sonic was number one.
I promise you that Sonic is not the number one movie for both of us.
It might actually be on the list still, but
it's still unfortunately going to be on the list somewhere. Is it? Did it? I think it actually did crack my top 10.
Yeah, but it's not number one.
But yeah. Yeah, it's number 9 for me. Anyway, there's a grouping of movies. There's so much more that we could have seen. We didn't see Mank. We didn't see
Enola Holmes, The Five Bloods.
Yeah, we haven't seen The Five Bloods. There's a lot of movies that came out this year that we just didn't. As odd as it is to believe, we didn't have the time to watch or what have you, based on what was going on in our world this entire freaking year.
Yeah.
So
which happens. I mean, even the past couple of years, especially as we've started running this channel, there's been movies that we just didn't catch on the first run, especially when you start talking about more of your art house movies. Absolutely have nothing against them, just it might be either they weren't playing at the right time. Keep in mind that both of us still kind of have to work full time, so it's kind of hard hitting some of these movies.
Some of us are trying to work full time and physically
full time, and then also running a YouTube channel. I mean, not complaining at all whatsoever. I absolutely love that this is my life right now, but there's also times where I can't go grocery shopping. I mean, that's just the life you live, and so be it. So some of these movies we just weren't able to catch.
Yeah.
And yeah, sometimes it might be a rough day, and when I come home after a rough day and I want to relax and watch a movie, I'm probably not going to throw on Mank. I'm probably going to throw on a movie that I'm used to seeing over and over and over again, and I'll be like, yeah, I just need to cool, relax, and enjoy my twisted tea.
Yeah. Vernon asks, would the election count as a cinematic event?
Absolutely.
Yes, it would, but that did not crack my top 20. I don't want to revisit that one.
Yeah, let's not watch that one again.
I don't want to revisit a lot of the cinematic events from 2020.
Yeah.
Anyway. How'd you want to do this? You just want to roll through real quick and just drop hey, these are movies I have on the list.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, because this is not the list I would have expected to have when we started last year, but it is the list we ended up with.
Yeah. If you want to, if there's any of them you want to say something briefly about why it's at the position, because I know some of these on both of our lists, there's going to be some we might have to justify why it's where it's at.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to say something about that, but yeah, I'm eager to get to the channel changes and stuff. So
yeah, for sure. And
so stay tuned, because again, we're going to be talking about what's coming on this channel for the next year
after this segment.
Phrasing.
After this segment.
Sure. What you said.
Number one for me is...
You're going to start with number one?
Yeah.
Wow. Just cut straight to the quick.
There's a reason for this. Number one is technically Hamilton for me, because that's the one I've actually watched over and over and over again since its release this year.
Yeah.
On Disney+. I'm not actually counting that as part of my real top 10 just because it's
in a gray area.
It's up in the air as to whether we do call it fully a movie. It's technically a movie, but it's also just It's also more like a Fathom event.
Yeah.
So either way, it was my most watched piece of cinematic motion picture length
I would also
content.
go. It was supposed to be in a theater.
It was supposed to be in
originally,
a theater too. Yeah.
So I mean, technically,
So, but I really enjoyed it. I watched it multiple times. That's why I have it technically there. I'll actually start with number 10 though. Yeah, see, Malcolm said Hamilton's totally a movie. Yeah, it technically is a movie.
Mm-hmm. Oh, we're gonna start that again. I remember this happening before.
It's coming back. Strobe lights. Don't stop. Sounds like your cat's throwing up. Stop. Nobody said actually do the sound.
Did we remember what was causing that before? Was it like the battery is almost dead, or it's
There's
not
no
plugged in
batteries.
right?
There's no batteries in it. It's just like a short in the cord. I think it's fine. If it does it again, I'll
Throw a battery in there.
yeah, maybe I'll do something with it. But
If that happens again, you people are getting party Robert. I'm just saying. You want to find out what that is?
no, I would recommend turning off the stream immediately if that happens.
Party Robert's gonna be like how I started the that ranking the drafting thing over on C2A.
Right. The cat is hungry. Yes, the cat is the one that's messing with the light.
Yeah.
Dang it, Lola.
Feed me.
She's actually being very quiet on the couch now, which is good.
Yeah.
Yeah. So let me start with number 10 here before everything falls apart. Dope. Stop. That sounds terrible.
That's got to be great. Also, if the audio is not in sync.
Right?
Party Robert. That's right. Just throw a battery on it.
No.
Okay, so we updated our stream software that we use. We didn't update the lights at all. This is the same lights that we've been using.
We shouldn't have to. The light shouldn't be falling apart.
Yeah. Oh, you know how it is. Lights fall apart. People fall apart. Brothers fall apart.
Cats and dogs live together. Mass hysteria.
Mass hysteria.
Anyway. Cool. So we'll start here again.
Camshaft is all about the party, Robert.
At number 10.
Can we? Are we allowed to continue?
Cool. At number 10, I've got Bill and Ted Face the Music.
That was a good one.
It was a good one. I don't really have much to say on it other than I watched the first two Bill and Ted movies for the first time right before watching it.
Mm-hmm.
So I was already wrapped up in the universe, all fresh and new. So I actually really enjoyed it, but I don't want to spend forever on it. Do we want to go back and forth, or are we doing the whole 10?
Well, yeah.
I started at number 10.
We'll do it 10. What's funny, here's the thing. Number 10 for me is also Bill and Ted Face the Music.
All right, moving on.
Moving on.
Good movie. Number 9 is where I have Sonic.
That's also where I have Sonic.
Look at this. This is easy.
Yeah, I
Roll.
like this.
Nice and smooth.
I have a feeling some of this is going to change.
This is the most smooth thing I've had in a year. Awesome. Never mind.
What a perfect time for the light to go out again. This is fantastic.
I don't know if the batteries are actually charged up.
Well, put it in. Just stick it in and confuse it.
Would you stop doing that?
Anyways.
God. Yeah, I don't.
I'm trying to see like on the playback here because I know there's a delay.
Yeah, that's fine.
I'm trying to see like how does it. You know, here's the thing. Actually, it doesn't look that bad when the light turns out.
No, but if it just starts not working completely, I'm gonna
Just leave it.
I'm gonna
because I don't look that bad with it off.
Let me finish the sentence. Jeez, if it stops working properly again, I'll probably just take the other light and move it to the center, and we'll just light ourselves with one light.
Okay.
Look, whenever you're trying to become like a professional on anything, it takes going through the fire of just technology and equipment not working for you to really learn the ins and outs of how to do this stuff.
Cam's chef says this would be a good time to feed the cat, Chris.
Right?
Stick it in and confuse it goes down as one of the worst pickup lines ever.
I do not approve.
Anyways, so you were saying Sonic the Hedgehog.
Yeah, that was at number 9.
Okay.
I honestly, again, I believe in a year that didn't have a pandemic, Sonic the Hedgehog wouldn't have been anywhere near the top 10.
Mm-hmm.
In a year during a pandemic where I still was able to watch more movies than I did, Sonic the Hedgehog would not be anywhere near the top 10. I enjoyed it for what it was, but I wouldn't have actually expected it to ever be a top 10 movie for this year.
Yeah.
Number 8, I put Palm Springs.
All right, here's where we're about to differ.
Yeah. So I actually really enjoyed it. I did. Which is why it's on the top 10. I feel like it's one of those like, explain why it's so bad on your list. No, it's good on my list. It's in the top 10.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, everything else that's not in the top 10, I either barely enjoyed or didn't enjoy at all. So there you have it. If it's on the top 10 list, I enjoyed it. Palm Springs, I thought was a fun, cute little movie in the vein of like the Groundhog Day, the repeating day thing. And it was a little fun bout with Andy Samberg. So
yep. My number 8 is Borat. Borat 2 was just, it was so good.
Movie was ridiculous.
Again, this was a movie that came out of nowhere. We had no idea this movie was actually being made. Then all of a sudden they're like, oh yeah, this movie's coming out. Like in weeks. Like it was like it went from being announced to like a month later it was out. And the amount of production value, the story, everything that they did with that, it's phenomenal. And the movie ranks, I would say, not only is it because I actually honestly believe it was a good movie, I have to rank it like pretty high on my list of all movies from 2020. I have to rank it pretty high because of that production of it, for the fact that it did have to go through all of that secrecy and no one knew it was being made. That is fantastic. That is so good. So thumbs up on the production for that. I am a person who admires the behind the scenes as well as the actual story and the acting on top of it. So yeah, Borat.
Borat's one of the few movies that Wonder Woman 84 beat for me. So
yeah.
So number whatever I'm on now, 7. Yeah, 7. Number 7. I put An American Pickle. Because, again, that was just a delightful little movie.
You know what? I also got my pickle at the same place.
You're just on a roll tonight.
What? It's a movie about a pickle.
I was getting real old. It's getting real old.
That's awesome. Anyways, American Pickle, I got it at the same place. It was a good movie.
Might honestly just keep happening for the rest of the stream.
Yeah.
Oh, well.
You know what? The audio's off. The light turns off every once in a while. You know, I might disappear out of the chair. Who knows?
For the audio listeners, Chris just crossed the fingers on both of his hands. Still an us-ian joke. Number 6, I put Onward.
Mm-hmm.
The one of 2 Pixar movies that made the top 10 list. Go figure.
Yeah.
I'll give y'all a big guess as to what the other one is.
Well, there's only 2 that came out technically this year. So.
Oh man, if you don't get it right, jeez. It's a good one because the story was very touching. Honestly, it had some really like good like make you tear up moments, which Pixar is known for. Mm-hmm. And so when a movie is like able to hit you on that emotional string level and everything, it hits the top 10 list. It's got to. Put it at number 6. Number 6, yeah. Put it at number 6 though, because there's a bunch of movies still that I put over it, because that's how list ranking works.
Yep. This is so much fun.
No, it's not.
So apparently it's my turn to go. Those of y'all that get that joke, that is a good joke right there. My number 6 is The Way Back. Not only did I feel like this was a good movie, I also felt it good enough to inspire the facial hair that has been gracing my visage ever since it came out, and has been on my face throughout the rest of this year. And while the lighting is just getting really weird while we do this. It really was. Like, The Way Back was a good movie, but for some reason, just seeing Ben Affleck with that facial hair, I was like, I want that. I want that facial hair on my face. I feel like it's going to look good.
Oh, that's awful, and I hate it.
Yeah, you're going to be dark. I'm actually, like I said, I'm still lit pretty well on this, but Cam Chef says, damn that movie, #facial hair. That was some good facial hair, though. You got to admit, like, if I was ranking facial hair in movies, that would be probably, like, pretty high up there. Yeah, no, you need to just keep it back on you. Oh, you're going to grab one of those? Okay. Oh, so fun changes on there. Yeah, I like The Way Back. I thought that was a really good movie. Highly recommend that. Wasn't that Way Back wasn't that done by what's his name? The same director that did Miracle
And Warrior.
and Warrior. That's right. Yes. I can't remember his name off the top of my head real quick. Gavin O'Connor. That's right. That's why we would be a really good team in some movie trivia thing. Yeah, that's my number 6.
I don't know if that helps anything, but nope, not at all. Actually, you know what will help?
Just point that back at you.
No,
you were fine with
up,
it.
I
Point.
got it.
Oh, okay. PC says, "Shave, you hippies."
I am shaved.
Chris has recently been to Cancun. #tanned. Here's the thing, like you definitely got like our mom's like genes as far as skin tone goes, because you are always rocking a nice tan. I am pale as all get out. Yeah. Like there is nothing I can do to make myself look nice and tan. Even if I go and get like a fake tan, it's like painfully obvious it's a fake tan.
Yeah.
The sun looks at me and I burn.
Pretty much, yeah. There we go. Yeah, that's at least a little better.
You're number 5.
Number 5 is not New Mutants, even though I'm doing my Demon Bear voice.
Yeah.
Hey, Demon Bear here. My number 5 is Bad Boys for Life.
Oh. I don't even think that popped up on one. Yeah, that didn't even pop up on one.
Do you remember that came out last year? I know the year was so long.
I do remember it just because it was that was weird. Just because that was the highest grossing movie of the entire year.
I mean, yeah, it's the biggest movie. It's the last like really big movie that made any money in the box office. So
yeah,
Josh McCouga is somewhere like just ecstatic about that. But yeah. No, Bad Boys for Life hit number 5. It is my favorite of the Bad Boys trilogy. So I think they actually did a pretty good job. Very rarely do you see movies come back after like decades or years or whatever and be able to pull off a third movie or a sequel of some sort. Very few franchises have been able to do that successfully. I feel like they were able to do it successfully. They did it exactly. It just felt like just a continuation of the first two, and felt like it belonged in the same like canon, the same style and everything. Just sans Michael Bay.
Yeah. There was definitely some changes in that. Like you could definitely tell in some cases that Michael Bay didn't really have a hand in the directing of this. But for the most part, it was like, welcome back, Cotter. I guess. Welcome back to the Bad Boys universe, and I was happy to be there. I enjoyed it. It's not in my top 10, unfortunately, but I was glad to be back because I do like the Bad Boys.
Shame.
Yeah. My number 5 is going to be The King of Staten Island. This was a fantastic movie. If you're only familiar with Pete Davidson because of SNL, or like maybe you've caught like a little bit of a stand-up on YouTube, watch this movie and you will be a die-hard Pete Davidson fan. He is so good in this. And yeah, this movie is like semi-autobiographical, kind of like Honey Boy for Shia LaBeouf or 8 Mile for Eminem. But it's such a good movie. It is a Judd Apatow movie, which means It's like 2.5 hours long, and there's a lot of like comedy set pieces. Generally, the way that Judd Apatow movies work is it's comedy set pieces based around like a group of friends kind of like having a small bit of banter that really doesn't contribute to the story at all, but it's just a little fun banter. That's fantastic, Vernon. Thank you.
Vernon made another donation. I mean, you guys just saw on the screen there. Buy a darn light.
Buy a darn light.
Buy a darn light.
But yeah, I liked King of Staten Island. It was a lot of fun to watch. I can't wait to watch it again. It's gonna wait a little bit because I just watched it like the other night, but I highly recommend it. To those of y'all who haven't seen it, it was good.
Yeah, it might be one I need to check out here pretty soon. Thank you so much for that donation, Vernon. That is huge.
Absolutely.
Just to add on to what you've already donated, man, we're very grateful. Thank you so much. We go to number 4. Number 4, I actually have Tenet.
God, why?
Never mind. You don't have to. The computer screen just blinked, so if it's not the light, it's the computer.
You know, at this point.
Awesome. As long as we're still on, which we are, because I'm seeing my computer. Oh, okay. Well, yeah, we're good. Anyway, yeah. So I have Tenet at number 4. I did enjoy it. I actually can't wait to watch it again because while I did enjoy it, I also didn't necessarily hear all the dialogue that happened in the movie. I was able to follow along because I was still paying attention to the action and what was happening in the movie. Mm-hmm. Got the gist of it. And then definitely did a little bit of reading on the back end, which normally I understand, like, you don't want to have to do reading on the back end of the movie you just watched in order to like it. But for this one, I was okay with that. I'm okay with that idea. Just because, one, I am a Christopher Nolan fan, like pretty much all of his movies, to be honest. And I understand the way he operates, the way he directs a movie. So that one I am, though, eager to rewatch as soon as possible, just because I want to be able to play it where I can hear everything that everyone is saying, and if I can't, then I'll put on subtitles and can control that aspect in some sort. Otherwise, from just having watched it the first time, it is a Christopher Nolan. It's another one of his like highbrow movies that you need to like go into and really pay attention to understand kind of what's going on. I enjoyed it though. I thought it was great.
Yeah. So let's see, where were we on 5? So my 4 and 3, you've already mentioned it. My 4 is Onward. Good Pixar movie. My 3 is Palm Springs because I really like that Groundhog Day, day after day concept. I like it so much. I'm even a big fan of the TV movie 1201. Yeah, I like 1201 was a good movie, even though it was made for TV and stars Jonathan Silverman from Weekend at Bernie's. But I thought it was pretty decent. Not as funny, but it had a really good concept for it as well. So
be the part where I do the little Bernie dance, but I'm definitely sure I would throw myself out badly doing that.
Anyways, that's my was it 4 and 3?
Yep. And my number 3 is The Way Back, which you had already mentioned also.
Yep.
Just
he didn't like it enough to grow a beard.
Liking that movie has nothing to do with whether or not I grow a beard. Anyway, yeah, I really enjoyed it. Another good sports movie. I like those biographical sports type movies that tell a good story about an individual or how somebody coaches a team back to winning, or how, in this case, somebody corrects their life and gets back on the right track while dealing with various issues. And it felt like a really good like passion project for Ben Affleck and kind of the stuff that he's been going through in his personal life. So
yeah.
Moving on to number 2, I have Soul. Soul I put as my number 2 movie of the year. Coming in real quick at the end of the year. This is one of those I think, like when the pandemic started happening and we started seeing movies get pushed back. Ooh, are we going to be able to get it this year? Because that was supposed to come out in the summer, but then got pushed to Christmas, and then it was like, is Disney still going to release this somehow? Ended up putting it on Disney Plus on Christmas Day. So one of the 2 great movies we got to enjoy on Christmas Day.
Did you say 2 great movies?
Excuse me. One of the 2 movies we got to enjoy on Christmas Day.
One of the great movies that we got. The other one, not so much great.
The great movie we got to enjoy on Christmas Day.
That's better.
One of 2 movies, the great one. Yeah, I really enjoyed it. I thought it was like a nice, like, compact little Pixar tale, the normal what you expect from Pixar with like the emotional strings and everything. Really hit home as a creative type to really make sure you're pushing forward on what it is you want to do, even if it feels like everything is up against you. It really hits home for me right now. Just try to enjoy life, even if your neck is constantly in pain. You got the neck pain from that movie?
Yeah. So real quick, I'll piggyback. That's my number 2 also.
Yeah.
For me personally, it connects because I am someone who's constantly living with depression and just struggling to make it through and finding the urge to get out of my funk and just do something. And as Cinefanatics continues to grow, which we're about to touch upon here in a little bit, it's something like that is going to help feed my need to continue to push on. Soul is definitely, I believe this could potentially be one of those movies as I get like my room and my cave set up the way I want. I may have this like on a TV in the back that like I can play while working on stuff, while trying to develop stuff. So
Yeah.
I can maybe take a pause if I get mentally blocked by what I'm working on, or if I don't feel like looking at work right now. I could just turn the chair, look at Soul, and be like, I do like life, and then turn right around and continue working again.
I like movies like that.
Yeah, I absolutely, and I want like a list of movies like that give you that push. I like movies and music that do that to me. So this is a movie I feel like is right up there that would actually do that.
Yeah, it's gonna fall in the same kind of list of movies for me too, where you'll also find, say, like La La Land and Moneyball, where you'll find those 2 movies also. Movies I consider like inspirational that help you through like general life circumstances or being creative, or just if you're up against like the odds, a big deal in your life that you have to push through, kind of a thing.
I don't know if you guys heard, but I'm kind of a big deal. Just felt like quoting Anchorman all of a sudden.
You know I don't speak Spanish. And then number 1 for me, I don't know if I don't know if this would have ended up as my number 1, if we had gotten the year as we normally would have. I'm kind of surprised it ended up here. And Malcolm's right. It's Wonder Woman 84. I've been hiding it this entire time. I'm just kidding. That is still number 11.
We're not on StreamYard. I can't take you off screen.
Nope.
I mean, technically I could, but
yeah, but it's a hassle.
No, it's not actually.
Stop. No time for that. Really? Are you really gonna do
it? Anyways, I just wanted to see if I could. You were saying
my number 1 movie that I put on the list for this year is The Gentleman.
Oh.
Yeah, I don't know if you guys would have expected that to hit the list. I don't know if I would have expected that to hit the list. I really enjoyed it. I'm finding that, like, for the most part, I enjoy a lot of Guy Ritchie. Well, yeah, Andre says, "Ew, it's at number 11 on your list." Well, if you heard everything else that comes after it, you'd understand. Yeah, but no, Gentleman's number 1 on the list. I really enjoyed it. Really enjoyed it. I think, Guy Ritchie hits the spot with me now for a few times. Between that, like, Man from U.N.C.L.E. I do like the Sherlock movies, though I have to admit, I don't think I've ever stayed completely awake all the way through a single Sherlock movie. Anytime I've watched it, I still, as odd as it is to say, I still do enjoy them. It's just that I've unfortunately decided to watch them during times when I'm tired.
Yeah. Which
is not a good idea because some of the dialogue and pacing kind of hits me wrong.
The colors on it are very muted.
Yeah.
It's very gray and green tone.
I do like them, but anyway, it makes me, with Gentleman being number 1 here and just how high I do hold Man from U.N.C.L.E., it makes me want to kind of go back and revisit some of Guy Ritchie's filmography, some of his other stuff. Like I want to go back and watch Rock and Rolla again. I saw that before and just I don't remember much from it. So it makes me want to go back and like watch a lot of his stuff and
like Aladdin.
I like Aladdin. I do. It's on the high end of okay for me. Anyway, that's beside the point. The Gentleman featuring Matthew McConaughey and Tom Dagnino. I mean Colin Farrell. Sorry.
That actually did look like Tom Dagnino.
He was very Tom Dagnino in that movie.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, it's really good. A nice little kind of a twisty caper of sorts.
Yeah.
Highly recommend anybody who hasn't seen it give it a watch.
My number one is this was gonna be interesting because it technically was first released at the end of 2019, but its wide release was 2020.
This is really your number one?
Yeah, it was really good. I really enjoyed it.
All right, well,
my number one is Color Out of Space.
Thought you were gonna say 1917.
No,
I'm just kidding. 1917.
Color Out of Space was so good, but again, I'm a person who I thoroughly enjoy my like body horror movies, like Cronenberg. This is Richard Stanley, who has been out of the directing limelight for quite a while. This is him coming back, doing an H.P. Lovecraft movie, and it's so good. It stars Nicolas Cage, which is awesome because he's not Nicolas Cage in it at all. If you watched Mandy, that was definitely like on point Nicolas Cage. This is completely different, and he was still really good. It also stars a certain fine young tenderoni from the movie Trivia Schmodown as Nicolas Cage's son. I thought Brendan Meyer did a fantastic job in this movie as well, but also this movie has Chong in it. It has Tommy Chong, and it's how a movie stars Tommy Chong is in my number one, I don't know, but this movie is so good. The ambiance of the movie, like the effects,
is why Tommy Chong stars in it.
Yeah, hey man, it was a great movie. But yeah, that was such a good movie. If you're a fan of Cronenberg's, especially like Cronenberg's like 80s, like Scanners, Videodrome, The Fly, stuff like that, with maybe like a little hint of a little trippiness to it, I highly recommend this movie. It is so good. He'll not watch it, but he knows he'll not watch it.
Yeah, no, I always like read up on things. I'm like, no, I don't want to see that happen to a llama.
Yeah.
Anyway, so yeah, that's interesting that hit your number one. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's something I like, the diversity of what actually hit our number ones from this year, despite the year being kind of crazy. You still got a movie in there that nobody would have predicted to be your number one, and I still got a movie that I don't know if anybody would have predicted, including myself, to be my number one. Again, in a world where we didn't have a pandemic, I wonder what the top 10 list would have been, but maybe that can be saved for what if? Ooh.
Yeah. So here's the thing: we might have to revisit like the list like at the end of 2021 and be like, okay, here's our top 10 of 2021. Here's also what technically could have been our top 10 of 2020.
Theoretically,
had these movies that were gonna end up in our top of 2021 been actually released in 20. Like I'm almost certain that like Fast and Furious 9 probably would have maybe gotten in there because those movies, they're just fun.
Yeah.
They're a lot of fun to watch, so that might have actually cracked my top 10 this year.
I think
had
so
it
too.
been released.
So if anybody asks us, because usually around this time of year we also do the top movies to look forward to in the current year, and we did it last year. The top movies to look forward to in 2020. So if you want to know what we think our top movies to look forward to in 2021 is, go back and watch that video.
Yeah, just go back and watch the top 10 of 2020.
Give or take a few movies that actually turned out to be fart bombs. 10184. You'll find that most of those movies still ring true for 2021, give or take.
Yeah.